I just wanted to say something. So to the gentleman that just spoke, the young lady actually didn't invalidate him. She, before she even gave her opinion on anything, she said that she apologized for women who done him wrong, and then she also let him know that his feelings were valid. I brought that up to say, like, a lot of times I don't think y'all brothers know what you want in response from us. And when you don't hear exactly what you want, instead of telling us that, you'll tell us what we're doing wrong. And it becomes like this circular blame game. But she definitely didn't invalidate him, and she acknowledged. Just saying.
Thank you, lovely. I thought I did. I was like, maybe
It
I
didn't.
did. I
So
don't know.
so all right. So what's happening, right? Is you're pretty much doubling down, right, and making the situation worse. That's what we're doing right now. You're not even understanding what's happening here. That's the problem, right? And again, I don't think that the first thing the worst word I mentioned was inadvertently, but it doesn't matter. It's still shit. You could put dressing on it. You could put Parmesan cheese on it. It's still shit, right? And nobody's saying that she did it on purpose. I'm just trying to display the example, and you literally are doubling down right now.
No,
Worse.
I think it appears that I'm doubling down because I think that you already have your decision in your mind made up on what women are doing wrong. And you're not really in a place to understand that, to even see, like, what do they say, the forest through the trees? You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like I didn't allow you to disregard the fact that she actually went out of her way to apologize on behalf of a group of women she's never met that have wronged this man. If anyone
Let's
didn't,
ask Darwin. How did you feel about it though, Darwin? Do you feel like that I was correct or no? That kind of is the determining factor.
I think Trev took the. If I was to respond, Trev took the words right out of my mouth. Pause.
And from coming from a female, I understand where they're coming from when they said invalidated, because the first thing you did say was, I don't think that's true. After and then you went into, I apologize on behalf of. So when you started with that statement, I don't think that's true, that basically kind of disregarded everything he just said when he's telling you what I said wasn't true. And then he's like coming from a man and explaining what my father did. And then you said what you said. So it can come off like I gave you this whole spiel, and then you're saying, "Oh, I don't think that's true." That kind of seemed like you invalidated him when you did that.
Right.
So how do you feel about what Jasmine just said, Ty? Can you understand that, or do you think
Yeah,
you
no,
just
I can understand it. Like Trey said, that really wasn't my point. I was just saying that's just something I've never seen from women when dealing with men, but I do understand that everybody's perception, everybody's reality, and everybody's situations are different, right? So I apologize, Darwin, if I did invalidate your feelings. That was not my intention at all. Your feelings are valid 100%. I didn't mean to come off and just say that's not true. It's not true in my experience, but this is the man's experience. So
I accept your apology, and it's just actually plays into the point. I think Trev was making. This is what happens. Um, Women can sometimes get it wrong, and when we see that happening, inside we're like, "Fuck! How did that just happen? Like, what just happened here?" But then we're like, I'm just close it off. Maybe they just don't understand, or maybe they don't want to stand. Who knows? I'm just, just leave it alone. But you got other men around, so they're able to see that and point it out. But this is typically what happens on a day-to-day basis for men. Men are going through things and are saying this is what's happening. This is what's happening to us. They're crying out. But then you have a group of women who may misinterpret that as, oh, that's extreme, or oh, I never experienced. So that's why we kind of just shield ourselves. And that's actually speaking to the question that we just feel unsafe about it. When we actually
Correct.
come out, go ahead, Trev.
Nah, the only thing that I was gonna say is that it was also presented with an assault, right? At the same time, it was mentioned that I wasn't in a space to even acknowledge that type of a perspective, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, are we hearing two different things? You understand what I'm saying? Is it making any sense yet? What's going on? Because if we flip this around and we were asking women, You know, certain things that we know we couldn't understand. There's certain things about women it's extremely hard for us to get. We try and we can't, and we acknowledge that, right? There's certain things that you go through as women, you just ain't going. We're not going to dig it. We'll try our damnedest, but we probably won't. But what we shouldn't do, and what I think most of the gentlemen on the panel would not do, is try to invalidate it, and then try to make it seem like a person is weirder or just lacks that much perspective to where they can't even understand what's happening in real time.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I didn't get any of that from what she did. I really don't. I didn't, but that's my stance on it. And I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Miss Lovely. Okay, Miss Brown, hold tight for 1 second. Let me just go ahead and get Will in there because I do got a series of questions. I want to make sure we keep it rolling. Will, answer that same question and then we'll move on. Do men feel emotionally safe with women today? Why not?
I don't really think I'm qualified to answer this question because I don't feel safe or unsafe with women. I don't even think of terms of safe when it comes to women. That just doesn't register for me. And maybe that's me being damaged. I'm not exactly sure if that someone would call that my toxic trait or whatnot. But I feel safe, I guess, talking to my woman. Like I could tell her whatever. I don't worry about her using things against me. She calls me out on what she think is BS all the time. And I don't be like, oh, I'm not going to tell you things because I'm worried about you using it against me. So I don't know. This doesn't register for me. But when I hear guys talk about being safe with women, it just doesn't register. And I don't really know how to give it any more explanation than that. But I would like to respond to something Ty said really quick with that back and forth. A lot of women say things like, the women I'm around, I don't see this, I don't see that. Well, you don't see crime. You know the prisons exist. You know the courtrooms exist. They're overloaded with cases. Stuff is being dealt with every day, unbeknownst to us. We're oblivious to certain things. I think that if women wanted to understand men better, I think women will stop trying to get men to understand them, and they will do what they can to understand the men. If they're of the mindset that a man is doing everything he can to improve upon her life. So if I make this point and I'll be done. If I knew somebody was trying to make my life better, like I'm not just talking about in theory, I'm talking about in action as far as working, protecting me, providing for me, trying to love me the way I profess I want to be loved, I will stop trying to get that man to understand me, and I will do everything I can to understand him. And if he's not worth you understanding him, then you shouldn't be with him. But I think that when people spend their time trying to understand the person, and this applies for men too, but I think if people spend their time trying to understand the person, it's a lot less effort than trying to get them to understand you. Because I think if people don't want to understand you, they just don't want to be with you. And I think it becomes a way easier interaction when you just say, look, my focus is to make sure I understand you.